Okay, so literature response journals, what they are is just a safe place for kids to write what they're thinking after you read, but you can also do it before they've read. So, for instance, in the classroom, if they are meeting in book clubs, they come prepared to book club with their thoughts on the chapter that they read outside of class. So it could be something that they do before before they meet. So it's something they bring as a springboard into discussion. In the case of y'all's projects, what I suggest is that you read together. For instance, let's just pretend you're with some fourth graders and you're reading this fabulous book, Esperanza Rising, and you've just read a chapter with them, shared reading, so you've read it and they have copies and you're talking about it as you go. And now you want them to reflect. And so you have inside these prompts, things like something that surprised me, I'm feeling, my connection is, I liked. They pick and choose what they want to say. So let's just pretend that I read a section from Esperanza Rising and I'm going to model, and I want y'all to do this. Your assignment as teachers is to model, right? To show them that you're going to go first and share your thinking about the book. And so this needs to be already done before you come to the book club, is read a little bit of the book on your own. And what I suggest is you actually write down what you were actually thinking. Even if it might be a little beyond where the kids are at in terms of their thinking about text, go ahead and write down what you were actually thinking, age appropriate, of course. So I read the second chapter of Esperanza Rising, and I put the date in there, model that you date your journal entries. And I just read Esperanza Rising. I had a text-to-text connection. This book reminds me of two other texts. One that it reminded me of was Y no se lo trajo la tierra. Did I say that right? Trajo. And the earth did not devour him by Tomas Rivera. It reminded me of that book that I had read. And then it also reminded me of a book called The Circuit, or Cajas de Cartón by Francisco Jimenez, another immigrant family. This book was a little different from those, though, but it reminded me of the characters in them. Both writers overcame challenges and wrote about the campesino lifestyle. I felt through reading those books I gained insight into that world. And then I had a question. As I was reading the chapter, I was wondering what type of person Esperanza is. Like, she seemed a teeny bit spoiled, but I couldn't be sure at first. And so I wondered, does she know she has a privileged life? And I also wrote, as I was reading, life seemed so content in this chapter, so tranquil. And on the back of the book, it suggested that this won't last. So I'm wondering, what event happened to disrupt the peace of the family? Like, what happened to make it a tragedy? I liked, too, that her birthday coincided with the harvest, and my life is the same. So I had a text-to-self connection. My birthday's in October. So I could connect with her that way. And so far, I like the character, and I'm wondering what will happen to her. So you can see I had a lot of thoughts. I had a lot of text-to-self, text-to-text, etc., and I just modeled those for the kids. And I would show them that there's not one right way to respond in this sense in your journal, that it's what you're thinking as you're reading. So as a teacher, this requires you to not just model, but to actually pay attention as you read, so you have something to offer the kids, so you have your own interpretation to share. And that'll encourage your kiddos to also share in their response journals. So that's it for the video.